Through the divine fusion framework, the devouring mirror is the most dangerous form of shadow entanglement, not because it lies, but because it makes you forget who you are. This archetype is born when the glamour serpent merges with the narcissist, illusion fused with hunger, seduction fused with emptiness, projection fused with need. It becomes a vortex of identity, a shadow field that thrives on what you have not yet claimed within. The devouring mirror does not simply deceive you. It consumes the parts of you that you abandon. For affirmation, it feeds on the image you project onto it, the longing you surrender into it, the fantasy you offer it. This archetype reflects back the most intoxicating version of who you wish to be. But every reflection is hollow. It gives the sensation of being chosen so that it can feed on the self you temporarily set aside to feel desired. It is a solar void, bright on the outside, starved at the center in divine fusion. This archetype represents the deepest test of identity. It appears where your worth is still externalized, where you believe someone else's attention can complete you, heal you, validate you, or define you. The devouring mirror does not lure your desire. It lures your self-perception. It consumes not your trust, but your self-recognition. You don't lose yourself in this dynamic because they overpower you. You lose yourself because you hand over your reflection to someone who cannot hold their own. This shadow serpent forces you to confront the most uncomfortable truth. The parts of you that crave external validation are the parts most easily devoured. The devouring mirror appears to expose the places where you mistake admiration for intimacy, performance for connection, projection for resonance, and fantasy for alignment. It draws out every unhealed hunger, the desire to be special, to be seen, to be chosen, to be enough. It magnifies these wounds until you can no longer ignore them. The collapse of this archetype is a painful liberation. When the glamour breaks, when the sun stops shining, when the mirror cracks, you are left with the fragment of yourself that believed the illusion. This is the true initiation. You reclaim the pieces of identity you outsourced. You retrieve the power you traded for attention. You rediscover the value that was never meant to be reflected through another person's eyes. In this way, the devouring mirror becomes a sacred teacher, not through kindness, but through consequence. It teaches you to anchor your identity in yourself, not in someone's hunger. It teaches you to choose truth over admiration. It teaches you the difference between being loved and being consumed. This archetype's purpose is not your destruction, it is your remembrance. When you can look into the devouring mirror and refuse to shrink, perform, exaggerate, or disappear, you have passed the initiation. You no longer offer yourself to emptiness, disguised as light. You return your reflection to its rightful home, within you.